Out on the kayak again. Today's mission is very, very simple. Catch Dungeness crab. It's been a while since I've caught a crab. I caught a bunch during the opener, you know, first week or two of crab season. Usually everyone's out here rushing to go get some crab, and then it kind of just settles down, you know, as the season wears on. And now we're like 6 months in or whatever, I don't know exactly, but you know, we're well into the season and basically very few people are going for crab now. But I just had, you know, an urge. I had a little craving for some Dungeness crab, and I haven't used these guys right here in a long time, which I'll show you in a second. I think it's been over 2-3 years. I don't know. We basically, I just want to see if they still work. I haven't used them in so long. But I'll explain everything. We're on our way out now. I'm gonna get everything set up. Like I said, 3 simple words: catch Dungeness crab. That's the name of the game today, so we'll see you out in the water. Let's get things started. This right here, this is a crab trap. It's been a long time since I used one of these guys, but basically, you know, it's pretty simple. You just drop it down, wait for the crabs to crawl in. There's 2-way doors. They open one way, but not the other way. So once they get in, the idea is that they can't get out, and then you pick them up and you pick up all the crabs. And it's been, I don't know how long since I used one of these. It's been a long time. It's been sitting in my garage for a while. Hopefully they still work. I don't know. We're gonna find out, I guess. And the reason why I haven't used these is because the last couple of seasons, at least at the beginning of the season, they were restricting these types of crab traps because they were preventing a danger to the migrating whales that were coming by in the Bay Area. So I believe they lifted that restriction last season, but I never went crabbing after the restriction was lifted. And I believe this season they lifted the restriction in like January or something like that. So it's been a little while since they lifted the restriction, but I just haven't gone crabbing. Generally speaking, the crabbing just kind of dissipates as the season goes on. There's definitely still crab out here, and hopefully we can find a few today or tomorrow, I guess. Usually everyone rushes out at the beginning of the season, gets their crab, and then I don't know, people just kind of forget about it, or you know, you just come out sparingly for the rest of the year. So anyways, this is my first time crabbing since the opener, since the beginning couple weeks of the season, and hopefully we can find a few crab. And one extra little bit of licensing that you need in addition to the normal, you know, fishing license, and there's just some restrictions with the gear that you're using. In addition to that, there's an extra little tag that you need on your fishing license called a crab trap validation card. I think it's the official name. And I'm not really sure why you need that, but you do, and it costs, I think this year it costs $2.73. So definitely not expensive. So just make sure you have it. I bought it last year, last season, and I never used it, so that money just got donated to the fishing game, which is fine. But this year I want to make sure that I use it. I bought it the last 2 seasons. It cost me a total of like $5 and change. I'm gonna get my worth out of it this time. So anyways, we're coming up to the first spot here. I'm gonna drop them in 35 feet, 45 feet, and 55 feet because I don't really know where the crab are. And my goal is to get at least 3 keepers would be nice. Anything more than that would be a bonus, but 3 keepers is gonna be my goal for this session. So first spot here, we're right at 35 feet. Let's just go ahead and drop it down. Just gonna make sure it gets down slowly. We don't want it to fall on its side or, you know, somehow go upside down. We're not really sure how that would happen, but just want to make sure it doesn't regardless. Make sure our rope's not tangled. Drop it down. Make sure it feels sandy. We're looking for a sandy bottom. We don't want it to be rocky. Different kinds of crabs live in the rocky terrain. Most of them being rock crabs, or at least the ones that we're gonna catch. So rock crabs are also good, but personally, if you have a choice between rock crab, or if I had a choice between rock crab and Dungeness crab, Dungeness crab is always the preferred target here. So hopefully that feels like a nice sandy bottom. Hopefully it landed nice and flat. And we're just gonna toss out the rest of this rope here. You always want a little extra rope, just in case, because of the swell and the tide, you know, things are moving around. If you don't have any extra, like if you're in 35 feet and I only had 35 feet of rope here, you know, a big tide came through, then it's possible that it would pull the buoy underwater, and when I came back to get my trap, you won't be able to see it if it's underwater. So first one's down. I'm just gonna mark this spot on my fish finder here so that I know where it is when I come back, because when you come back, the water all looks the same So it's a little bit tough. Probably won't be that hard because if you can tell, the swell today is like absolutely nothing, and I'm going to come back tomorrow morning after these have soaked overnight, and the swell tomorrow is also supposed to be like this, so shouldn't be any problem, but it's always just best practice to mark your spot. So there's that first one down. I'm going to get out to 45 feet now. Got the second one, and then the last one, hopefully we can get to 55 feet. If I was using hoop nets, I might condense a little bit more and just try and figure out where these fish are, because you pull them up, drop them back down, pull them up, drop them back down, and you can kind of move them around accordingly. But since I'm using these traps, it's all in one shot. So they're either going to be there and I'm going to get them, or they're not going to be there and I'm going to get zero. So that's why I'm spreading them out a little bit more today. Also, I haven't been in a while, so I don't really know where the crab are. I do see some traps, you know, kind of scattered around here. So I feel like people are trying to catch crab. I don't know if they're getting them, but it's a good sign. All right, we're out to 44 feet of water coming up. I drop that down. It should be a nice little sandy area. My calculations are correct. Earlier in the season I did better in the deeper water, so maybe if it still holds the same, there we are, there's the bottom. Maybe the crab will still be in that area. I don't see as many buoys down here, but only one way to find out. All right, number 2, going out. Now, if you'll notice on these buoys, I have one red and white buoy and one smaller red buoy, and these are required now. I think starting last season they started this requirement where you had to use this type of setup. I think it's to differentiate the recreational crabbers from the commercial crabbers. I think that's why they do it. But anyways, there's a whole list of different gear restrictions, so if you're going to do some crabbing for the first time, definitely want to check out all of those. But make sure my knots are still good. I don't want this to come apart. All right, the flock of seagulls here, 54 and a half feet of water, but that's good enough. A little bit foggy today, if you can't tell. Always good to have some navigation, multiple forms of navigation on the kayak. I always keep a compass, because that doesn't require any batteries or anything, so that's kind of the foolproof method. But I also have my phone, and I have what else do I have? Oh, my fish finder. All those have navigation on them, so if you were to get lost out here in the fog, multiple ways to find my way back home if I need to. I mean, today I'm not really going that far. I can literally hear the harbor from here, so that wouldn't be a problem. But it's always best to bring multiple forms of navigation. Definitely recommend just keeping a compass on board. Easy way to do it is just to glue it or duct tape it to the bottom of one of your hatches on the kayak, because then it'll never leave you and it'll be there in a time of need. And that's it. All our pots are down. Now we just wait. So the nice thing about these traps compared to the hoop nets, which you might have seen me use previously this season, these can just sit for longer periods of time because they have those doors. The idea is the crabs will go in there and then the doors will be closed, so they won't be able to get back out. Not always effective. Sometimes they do find their way back out, but anyways, that's the idea. So these are just gonna sit overnight, super calm, so they shouldn't have any problems as long as no one comes to poach them. They're not gonna drift away because it's so calm out here. And hopefully while we're sleeping tonight, those crabs are getting hungry, coming in, feeding. I don't think it's a full moon, but you know, hopefully they're feeding by moonlight. And in the morning, the idea is there'll be some crab in there. So on that note, I'm gonna go head home, clean up. We'll see you guys in the morning. Taking a step away from the water, I'd like to thank UGREEN for sponsoring this video. Today we're featuring UGREEN's PowerRoam 1200 watt portable power station. The PowerRoam is great for road trips, fishing trips, power outages, and anywhere you need electricity on the go. It features PowerZip technology, allowing you to charge the unit from 0 to 80% in just 50 minutes. In addition, you can charge the power station with a cigarette lighter adapter or the solar panel in as little as 4 hours. PowerRoam features 2 USB-C ports, 2 USB ports, and 6 standard wall outlets to charge all your devices at once. With its U-Turbo technology, this power station can also support high-powered devices when you're on the go or off the grid. To extend the performance, life cycle, and shelf life of the unit, the PowerRoam series uses the same batteries used in electric vehicles. UGREEN has backed this product with a 5-year warranty and guarantees outstanding performance for over 3,000 cycles of the battery. Finally, you can sync the PowerRoam with your phone via the UGREEN app from the App Store. You can monitor charging data, adjust charging modes, enable quiet to silent mode, and more from the touch of your phone. For a limited time only, you can get the UGREEN PowerRoam 1200 watt power station for $200 off via the link in the video description. Thank you again to UGREEN for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back out on the water. Alright, we're back. I think those spots have been soaking for 16, 17 hours, something like that. Quite a bit of time, plenty of time for those crab to find our bait, sniff it out, and crawl in the cage hopefully and get stuck in there. Kind of an interesting setup if you think about it. But anyways, we're trying to catch some Dungeness crab today. Hopefully our pots did the work. I'm on my way out right now. Super foggy this morning. A little bit chilly, probably around 60 degrees air temperature. Not sure about the water temperature. So yesterday I was mentioning that we want to mark our spots on some kind of GPS wherever we mark or wherever we drop our crab traps. And fog is one reason for that. You know, if it's super foggy, you might not be able to see them for very far away. So yeah, having that GPS mark will definitely help. I don't think it's going to be that bad today. It's, you know, it is a little foggy, but it shouldn't be that much of a problem. But anyways, you get the idea. If it were to get worse than this, finding your traps might be somewhat of a challenge. But anyways, without further ado, let's get out there. We're gonna go find our traps, pull them up, hope for some crab. Hopefully we're eating crab tonight. All right, this is the moment of truth. There's like hardly anyone out here. I did see one kayaker that was going in as I was coming out, so they must have been doing some crabbing. Maybe they dropped them yesterday and they're picking them up this morning. But other than that, just me and hopefully a few crab. We're coming up to our first buoy. We're gonna pick them up in reverse order, or not, or maybe it's not reverse, the same order. I don't know. We're gonna pick them up in the way that we dropped them. So we're going with the shallow ones first. Yeah, if I had all the rope. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's crab. Unfortunately, I think most of these are small, but we have at least one keeper, maybe two. I see one. I think we have two keepers. But look at that. Not bad for late season crabbing. Bunch of Dungeness in there. You know, a lot of these are females or undersized, but there's at least one keeper. So we're not going home empty-handed, that's for sure. I don't want to just dump them all out because I feel like they're going to start stabbing me, clawing me. So let's just do one by one. So if this is your first time on the channel, or you just never done any crabbing before, there's a minimum size depending on where you are. In California, I believe it's all of California. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure all of California is the same. But at least in the Bay Area where we're crabbing today, the minimum size for Dungeness crab is 5 3/4 inches, and that's a measurement from this point to this point. There's like two, you know, there's two like spikes that come out on the side of crabs. I don't know if you can see, there's one on that side, the lowest one, and that one. And we're basically measuring from right on top of that point. So not the point itself, right on top of that. And then we have a crab gauge here, and this measures 5 3/4 inches exactly. Because the measurements are so fine, you can't use some kind of a tape measure or anything like that. It has to be a crab gauge. And so if we take this one right here, this is a borderline one. Oh yeah, never mind. Thought this was gonna be closer, but it's actually easy keeper, 6-incher. Nice male, all its legs, real healthy, hard shell. That's a nice keeper, number one. This is not a Dungeness crab, this is a rock crab. So I mentioned yesterday, we're trying to avoid rocks because these guys hang out you know, in the crevices of rocks, underneath rocks, stuff like that. They are also good to eat, and actually you could keep this one, but since we have some Dungeness keepers already, this one's gonna get to live. They have a lot of meat in the claws, but as you can see, the legs, the lower legs, they're pretty skinny, so not much meat in there. And the body has a little bit, but definitely not as much as the Dungeness crab, so this one's gonna go back. Okay, next, ouch. Ooh. Off me. Next we have a female Dungeness. In California we're actually allowed to keep males and females. However, well, this is a keeper too. Yeah, that's a keeper, almost 6 inches. However, the females also have a little bit lower yield than the males. And because we have a couple of male keepers, I think we're just gonna go with males today. So lucky for this female, we'll let her go. It always also feels good to release a few females because obviously these are ones that are breeding. Bring us crab for future seasons. But let me show you, let me see if I can find, do we have any more males in here? This is the one that we already measured. I know it's a keeper, but the way that you can tell the males from females is this. If you look at the bottom there, this is the male, this little piece right here on the bottom of the shell, it's called the apron. It's different shape on the males for females, so a little bit wider on the females, a little bit more narrow, pointed on the males. So anyways, yeah, female, this one's going back. Male in the cooler. Another female here, a little one. I keep seeing this on Instagram. Everyone's sending them back with a little snack, so I'll do the same thing here. So later in the season, you can expect a lot of small ones like this. Another small one, female. Another little female. There's another female. Honestly, it's probably a keeper. Just measure it just for fun. Yeah, we could keep this one, but we're gonna send this one back too. This is the crab, the big one of the pot. Nice big male. You can see the males, their legs are just, I don't know, they're just bigger. This one's really hard. This is a nice crab. I would take this any day. But yeah, let's just measure just to see how big he is. Yeah, it's about 6.5. So obviously a keeper here. That's a nice one. This one's going home with us. Small female. Let's see if we can get these to come down. A couple more small females. We're just gonna dump these out. There we go. Not too bad. I think we had, I didn't count, maybe close to 10 crab in there. A lot of small ones, but also 2 keepers. So you know, I think I said at the beginning our goal was to get 3 total, and we're well on our way to there. And we still have 2 more pots to go. So we'll clean this one up, and I'll see you guys at the next one. All right, so this is the 45 footer. Let's see. Feels good. I don't really know. It's been a while since I used these pots, so I don't really know what's good and what's bad. Maybe not. But there is, oh, that's nice. We got 3 keepers in there. Not as many total crab, but the quality is definitely better. Maybe that's what happens when you get out a little deeper. Yeah, so there's only 5 total in there, but I think 3 of those 5 are keepers. All right, we'll start off with the smaller ones. Little female, going back. Another little female, also going back. All right, look at that one. That's a nice male. A couple of nice males right there. Definitely not huge, but these are keepers. So I'll just show you real quick here. We'll just measure them. Once again, from the inside of that spine, to the other side at the same spot, and that one's over 6 1/4. So if you're quick about holding them, there's a couple of different ways. You can just grab them straight by the claws like this, but when you grab them like this, they're really trying to get at me with the rest of the legs, and these legs are pretty spiky, even though they're not gonna, you know, pinch you. It kind of hurts. You can also just grab them by the back here. I think this is probably the safest way. They can't get you with any of the legs. The claws are out front, so they're not going to get you. Just hold them by those back two claws, or back two legs. We'll just measure it again, just for the fun of it. It's always fun to measure keepers. Almost 6 1/4. Toss this one in. Last one of the pot. There we go. Yeah, these are strong crab. Ouch, almost got me. Yeah, 6 1/4. That's 5 total. Not bad. So I always say this with crabbing, but I'll say it again. Organization is key. All these ropes going all over the place, lots of gear. Lots of birds. Keeping everything together, making sure nothing gets tangled. It's gonna make your day a lot easier when you're out here crabbing. And lucky for me today, I'm not fishing. Sometimes I'd have fishing gear out here with me as well, so it just adds to all the stuff you have to carry. I always make sure to get everything wrapped up, make sure I put it away nice and neat, especially on a kayak where you're limited in space. Keeping everything in order is really helpful. All right, let's go get the last one. All right, the third and final pot. I guess technically we're looking for 5 for a limit. Not sure if that's gonna happen or not, but we can always hope. This is the depth that I did best in earlier in the season, but I don't know, I'm not really sure where they are now. Not necessarily the same place they're gonna be in right now. Although it is feeling somewhat heavy. Don't wanna look over too far, I don't wanna flip the kayak, but oh, yep, there's some crab. Oh, we're close. We're definitely close. Look at that. One of them even got into the bait cage. This cage right here is where I had my bait, and the rock crab burrowed itself inside the cage. There's not even any bait left in there. I think we're gonna be 1 short of a limit, which is totally fine. I was only hoping to get a few of them, so 9 is definitely, I'll take 9 any day. One squeaking out, little rock crab. I think that's a little male. Short male. You don't really see too many short males for whatever reason. Most of the short ones that you see are females. But yeah, that one's definitely short. Yeah. Next year's crab. Keeper. Nice keeper. Over 6 1/4. 2 keepers. 3 keepers. Yeah, 3 keepers. 4 keepers. That one's probably the smallest of the bunch, but still almost 6 1/4, definitely over 6. I think the rest are small, unfortunately. So we're ended up 1 short of a limit. Another male. If I were to come back out again, I'll probably put them all out deeper. Definitely more males out here. Even the short ones are all males. Yeah, male. Male. So we got 2 at 35, 3 at 45, and then 4 at 55. So I think the as we got deeper, it definitely got better. Even the ones that I was throwing back on this deeper pot were all males. So I think the females are probably congregating in a little bit shallower, and if you're looking for quality crab, you want to try and avoid the females. So you're going for all males. So not too bad. Ending the day with 9 healthy male Dungeness crab. We definitely could have kept a limit. You know, a couple of those females were definitely keepers, but no sweat. I'm happy with nine healthy, full, hard shell male Dungeness crab. I got some family coming over. They're gonna be very pleased with me, and I'm gonna be pleased with myself because I'm gonna be eating some as well. So anyways, quick video out here, dropping some pots. Maybe I'll be doing it again. Honestly, the crabbing was pretty good out here. It is later in the season, and there's probably less crab now than there was at the beginning of the season, but there's also a lot less pressure than there was at the beginning of the season. So yeah, it's been a little while since I busted out the pots, but they were good to me on this trip. 9 healthy Dungeness crab for dinner. And if you're interested on more info, I actually have a really old video on my channel, probably from like, I want to say it's like 4 or 5 years old, but I did a little video on how I set these up, if you were looking for a little bit more information on that. But anyways, thank y'all for watching. Quick one, just want to come out here and get some crab, and that we did. So mission accomplished. Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you on the next one.